Welcome everybody to Catfish Weekly along with Patriot James. I'm Lyle. James, we got a good one tonight.
Oh yeah,
we really do. And for those that haven't seen it, you need to go check out Trophy Seeker Outdoors' latest video. I enjoyed it so much, I sent the link to Cindy so she can watch it. And I was on the phone with Dieter Melhorn today and recommended he watch it. And I hope he comes in chat tonight so we can get on him about it because it suits Dieter to a T. I really think it does. But before we get started with the show, James, you want to announce some people because I've got some results to bring up.
Well, Lyle, before we get started with that, we just want to mention that everybody in the catfish world, please send out a few prayers for Mr. Doc.
Absolutely.
He's going through some tough times right now. So,
yep. Don't want to get into it because don't know the specifics. But
exactly
there's not anybody in the world that deserves more thoughts and prayers than Doc Lang. And right now he could use them. So.
Yes, sir. Okay, we'll go with that. Just wanted to mention that out there. I see fishing with the Chad, Mike, Irvin, Lance, and I'm not going to say your last name, but it's a Hawaiian fisherman. Tim Elena's in the house. Chad. There's Miss D. Who else we got in here? Avid's in the house. Carolina Catfish. Muskrat's in here. We'll have a lot more dragging in as the time goes on. I'm scanning down. There's Chrissy Brown. There's the Chad. Who else? I'm not seeing anybody else right now. They're all talking away.
Let me try. Let me try. We got Bonnie McClary and Greenwell Fishing and Freedom, Michael Malott, Parker Pursuits, Cody from 3+1, Avid's in here, Real Gals Fishing, Maurice Kaysen, Muskrat, Dieter Melhorn. Hey Dieter, how you doing? I hope you got a chance to watch that video that I was telling you about because I know that you need to see that.
Yes.
Real Bill Catfishing. I like to hear Lyle try to pronounce my channel.
Yeah.
Well, I hope I got it right. They've been fun. One of the funny guys in our business. Fishing and Fine, Brad Bex, Parker Pursuits, Sean Abney, Catfish Coffee, Outdoor Day.
Yes, Serena's in here.
Sogo.
Yep.
There's my buddy, the Weekend Angler.
Mr. Maurice Kaysen's in here.
Always glad to have Maurice. Catfish Fever and Outdoors. Hey, Lynn, how's it going? Mike Lewis.
Fins and Fine. Wayne Smith. There's Mr. Mike Chavez in here.
That's good to see him in here. Tim Molina. My son fishing with the Chad.
Yeah. Hooked Up. Justin Fishing Fetish. I don't think we missed any. I was looking Fins and Fines.
I hope I don't see him in here, but he probably won't say anything because he's still not feeling really good. But I hope my other son, James Dockery, is in here because I know the third son, Mark with Catfish and Crappie's in here somewhere. Be sure to tune in to Mark's show after we are done because he's got a great guest on there. Abby's going to join me tonight. That'll be a fun show. There's Mr. Rob Mack, Squirrels Magnet Fishing,
Green Machine,
Jason Lamb,
Catfish Fever.
Catfish Fever. Yep, they're still coming in.
Yes,
and,
sir.
Ernie Brown. I'm sure Chrissy will be coming along. Hope she's doing better. Fishing with the Crow.
Yeah, she was in here earlier.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was looking for something else. Let me go through this. If we see some more, James, we'll talk about it in just a second. But what I have is the Indiana Catfishing Association results from Leavenworth, and first place was Corey Peterson and Jeff Mitchner with 106.2 pounds. Second place was Terry Holding and Mary Jane Woods with 106.1 pounds. 1/10 of a pound between first and second. That's a close one there.
You ain't kidding.
Third ain't that far behind. John Land and Dan Field at 97.86. Fourth place was Kyle McComb, Chad Parks, Matt Bush, 96.91. Fifth place was Andy Williams and Rye Eubanks with 86.45. That's very close. They're all very close. And I believe Big Fish went to Keisha Hurst and Richard Federley. Um, if I see this correctly. Brad sent me these, and I'm glad to get them out. I have one more result, and it is from Mike Greenwell for the Power Cat and Catfish Club out of Wolf Creek Battletown, Kentucky. And first place went to Kevin and William. They don't have last names, at 92 pounds, 0.6, and Big Fish of 33.6 pounds. Second place was Brock and Brandon with 72.4 pounds. Third was Stephen and Dana with 71.2 pounds. Fourth was Mike and Mark with 62.6 pounds. And fifth was Mike and Jacob with 53 pounds. They were very close also. And I believe Mike Greenwell said he was the Mike that got the fifth place. So congratulations to all the winners in both tournaments. And don't forget, you guys, if you want these tournament results or upcoming events broadcast on our show, we're happy to do it, but you have to send them to us. You can email us, or you can send them to us through Messenger. Be glad to do it. James and I, either one, will be happy to do it, but you have to send them to us. We can't chase them down. There's just too many of them anymore, and if it's not worth you guys taking the time to send them to us, it's probably not worth our time to put them up there. Thank you, Kevin, for sharing this out. We appreciate all the shares that we get and the thumbs up. If you care to do that, we'll appreciate it so much, because that's how we get our names closer to the top of each page, like everyone else, and that's where we all want to be. I see that Kevin is in our chat tonight, and I think chat's going pretty quick tonight.
Yeah.
I thought I seen Chunky in here.
Yeah, Chunky's in here. Palmetto's in here. I seen a new name that I didn't recognize. You might recognize, but now it's done got past me.
Mike Irwin.
There's Flatty Daddies, Buckeye. Want to be outdoors is in the house.
That's kind of where I'm at. I want to be outdoors, but it's too damn hot.
Yeah. Fishing and Freedom. I love that name.
I do too. Joe Newman, welcome.
Where's that name at? Oh, there's Sean Abney. That's not new, but welcome to the show.
Yep, absolutely. I think you said Sharina a while ago.
Well, if you knew and I missed your name, say hello again, and maybe I'll catch you this round. It done got way past me.
And we'll see new ones as it comes in. Those want to be outdoors. We'll see new ones as it comes in, and one of us will just say your name and Clearview Outdoors. How you doing? Kim Burnett, my buddy that ties jigs, man, what a great jig tire. Very well known for his craft, and he catches some great crappie and bluegill. But I think we're to get most of them. But like I say, people come and go throughout the show. So if we see somebody new, just remember, for us to be able to call your name out, you must be a subscriber, because you don't show up in chat unless you are. So we appreciate that if you do that. But
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, you have to.
They can come in and watch the show, but they just can't chat.
Oh, Brad just sent me another message. So the ICA Big Fish for that tournament was 70.93 pounds.
Dang right.
That was a good fish. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate it very much. Other than that, I think I'm done for the moment.
Yes, sir.
Chunky shared our video. Thank you so much, Elstan. We appreciate it very much. It means the world to us. Lance, thank you for joining us. I keep saying we're going to quit, but I keep seeing new people. Darrell, welcome to Catfish Weekly.
Good evening, guys. Thanks for having me.
I want to thank you for one of the more entertaining videos. I will be nominating that in the Golden Whisper Awards. I don't know if that will do you any good, because I do, but I enjoyed that video as much as anything. I really did. It was nicely done, and I recommended that Dieter go watch it today. And the reason is, you haven't been in the catfish industry all that long. You haven't been making YouTube videos all that long. And to come up with a skit like that that entertained me the way it did, a lot of people ought to watch it.
Yeah.
You want to tell us how you come up with that idea?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, when I first got into catfishing big, I mean, of course, you know, I've fished all my life as a kid and everything, but when I first got into it, I was actually looking for a place to go catch some big fish because my largest fish I'd ever caught as a boy with my dad was 18 pounds, and we caught it on a trot line. And I was trying to find different ways to fish. It's like I just never could catch nothing bigger than that. Now, you know, I'd been wanting to break my TV, so I started watching YouTube. And man, about that time, that was probably a year ago when I started watching them. And the biggest uproar was chicken Kool-Aid, chicken Jello, chicken with chicken, and I mean it was just crazy, and everybody, and so many people was down it, and it's calmed down a little bit since then. And I just laughed, you know, and then I actually found Joe with Chat Cats fishing, and that's how I actually started watching him on the Tennessee River, because I was like, well, that place isn't a long ways off, and he lived again. It was in Chattanooga, and I started watching him, and that's actually what got me going up there. But I had watched that. And then I started fishing in Tennessee, and I started doing pretty good catching catfish. And then, but I was going by myself there a good bit, and I couldn't take good pictures. So I had some old GoPros around here and some camera equipment. And so I started taking that with me and videoing my fishing. And I was like, well, these turned out pretty good. I think I'll try doing some YouTube stuff. And in February the 4th was my first YouTube video. And, I had thought about the chicken deal, and my background, I think I was telling you guys, and people are probably going, oh my God, when I tell this, but for several years, myself and the guy you see fishing me a lot, Woody, which is in the chicken video, we did professional wrestling shows, and we videoed them, and you had to write stories for that, and you did promos and stuff. So I knew a little bit about stuff like writing, and that's mostly what I did was the story writing. And I got a crazy. I think crazy. I guess I had this idea of doing a chicken fishing just to do a spoof off of this chicken stuff, but I didn't want to do it at the time I thought about it, because I just had got into YouTube, and I knew, well, if I put it out there, hardly nobody's going to see it, and this is going to take a lot of work. So I've had the chicken head for probably 4 months. So,
oh wow,
yeah, and the shirt actually, Woody's wife Brandy made that shirt for me when I had the idea. Like I said, this was probably 3 or 4 months ago. And then we finally made the video once I got up to about 400 subscribers. And I've been doing it 5 months now. And I'm like, well, let's do it and see how it comes out. So that absolutely to Woody. And like I say, he and I have done a lot of stuff together, and he got it, he got it. And we just had a ball with it. We actually, the fish you see caught on there, I caught them too. I mean, we didn't just set all that up. We actually went up and started fishing and caught the fish and everything. We're up at the dam fishing. There's boats all around us. I'm in this dang chicken outfit fishing. And I'm up there going, what is wrong with this idiot? I'd reel one in, and bring it up, and they're all around drifting down through there. What we're doing is drifting the tailwinds and the tailwaters and free lining chicken and catching them. And they're doing the same thing, and I'm going down there with this dang on chicken head on catching catfish.
whatever it takes, you know what I mean? Chicken. Oh man, it was very entertaining. I enjoyed it so much. I would like to welcome Shady Grady into Nebraska Wildcats. I think we said Clearview Outdoors, but we'll say them again. I know we said Mike Chavez. Dieter says he's back, and it was a great video. Dieter, thank you so much. I know that Darrell will appreciate that. Fishing with the Chads in here, and he said that Lyle used some of that spray I used in my goatee on his goatee. It looks bright. Chad.
Just the thing about Dieter, I'm sure Dieter, hopefully he remembers me from Catapalooza, but he's done so many things on chicken, and I call him the chicken expert. I mean, he's compared it to everything. and I call him the professor of chicken, you know. So
No
when I
doubt.
did that, it's like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to use Joe with Chat Cats because he uses chicken. I said, and we're going to use Jimmy Smith because he uses chicken, and Kevin with Palmetto. I said they all use chicken, so I'm going to act like I'm clucking out their names, and you're going to go, I don't care if they use chicken. I'm not doing it. I said, and then I'm going to do a bunch of clucking, and you're going to go, oh, Dieter Melhorn uses chicken, and that convinces him to let me get in the boat with you.
Dieter just posted in chat.
On everything, you know.
Dieter just posted in chat that he put it up on his Facebook fishing page, and yes, he remembers you.
Yeah. I picked his brain. He was late in the day, and there's a lot of people there. There wasn't a whole lot of people there, so I picked his brain for all it was worth. That's what I do. I'm just a guy that I'll ask a million questions trying to learn things, and
That's all we
Dieter,
learn.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, Dieter understands that, and he will try to help. From what I've been around Dieter, and him and I have been friends for a long time.
Yes.
We haven't been person-to-person friends for that long, but we've known each other for years, and he's always been very helpful to people that are sincere about wanting to learn stuff, and just an outstanding guy.
Yeah, they're very cordial, answered everything. I mean, just very nice guy. Very nice.
He really is. I would like to mention that I want to thank Mike Greenwell for sharing our video, and Mark with Catfish and Crappie. You guys, that gets us out there where we need to be. Thank you all so very much. We appreciate it. And whenever I catch that, sometimes we get notifications for it, sometimes we don't. After all, it's YouTube. But whenever I see that, I will mention you guys because we appreciate it so much. Takedown Catfishing with Kenneth Powell. Welcome.
Minnow Dunkers.
Minnow Dunkers. That's I think they've been in here before. I'm not real sure, but I think I've seen that name before, and it was very good. Catfish or Sunfish Assassins. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Brown said she's a little preoccupied. Her brother was in a car accident.
Oh my.
We had a lot of family catfishers that's had some real tough times here lately. You know, the Mayo family lost. Lori Mayo lost her brother and sister-in-law at one time in a car wreck last week. So, so make sure we keep everybody in prayers, guys. Y'all put out a lot of prayers for me and Donna, and I thank you. And there's a lot more needs them, so keep it up.
Means the world to a lot of all of us, and it just goes a long ways. And you know what? If you don't have to be a real hardcore churchgoer to believe in God and believe in the fact that prayers mean the world, because if you believe in prayers, they will do you good. I promise you. That's just
yes, sir. Whether he answers them or not, he knows what's best for us anyway. Because we're pretty stupid sometimes.
Oh yeah. That's right. There was something else that I wanted to see that went through chat, but it's going fast. It got past me. So let's get back to business with Darrell. Darrell, you don't catch a lot of fish on your videos. The people that fish with you, it appears to me anyway, that you make sure that they catch the fish, and I enjoy doing that myself. I get people on me a little bit about it, but it's fun for me to run a camera and watch them catch the fish, and maybe if they're doing something wrong, tell them. Sometimes you get told back, but that's okay. But I enjoy watching the other people catch the fish, and it must be that you do too.
Yes, sir. I do. I enjoy it. It's just a thrill to me because it was a big deal whenever I got up there and started catching the big fish, and then it's a thrill to me to put somebody on a big fish and they catch it, and you don't ever know if that big fish is coming. But if you look a lot of my videos, you probably only see about 4 or 5 fish that I've caught over 40 pounds. So a lot of them my wife's caught, or Woody, or Russ, or his wife, or or like Larry. I can't remember if it was Larry or Cody. One of them pulled in a 30-something pounder. I consider if you pull one in over 30 pounds, that's a big trophy to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Jay Reed just said your new nickname is Foghorn Leghorn.
I had the mouth on it, wouldn't scroll down.
Jay's a good friend of mine. He actually he came with me on the boat, and I think he brought in. I don't know if you ever seen it. It's Two Fat Cats Catching Fat Cats is the name of the video. It's me and Jay. He was not the smallest guys in the world, so we have fun with it. And I think he caught 2 or 3 24, 25, 26 pounders that day. I mean, when I took him out, and I just tell everybody, don't expect to catch a monster because I never know if I'm going to get on them or not. But I've had pretty good luck with catching some decent fish for them. But yeah, Jay's a hoot.
Yeah, there was a great video. And Mr. Gadget, welcome. Fishing with the Squirrel, welcome.
There's Irvin. Irvin's in the house with us. He don't come in too often like he used to.
I'm glad to have him though.
Yeah, Irvin's a truck driver, so he's usually on the road when we on here talking a lot of times. But appreciate you coming in, friend.
Absolutely. I haven't seen your old buddy there that works on the ambulances tonight. That's Sharon Chavez. Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah. Oh, Wampus Cat, he's at work tonight, so he might be able to drop in. He might not. You never know.
He calls me every once in a while, and means the world to me that he does. Because we don't see you guys out there very often. But when guys like Dieter or James and Wampus and some of the other guys, there's a bunch of them. Texas Tiger, how you doing? When they call up and just to say, hey, how you doing, means the world to all of us, and we all appreciate it. What? Go ahead, James.
I was going to ask you about what style of fishing that you really like doing more than anything. Is it anchoring down? I mean, I'm an anchor guy. I just hate pulling anchors.
Yeah, I anchor a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm like I said, I'm a fat lazy guy. I've actually the first boat that I bought that I started catfishing out of was a Carolina skiff, and when I bought it, I got it a heck of a deal, and it had spot lock on it. Man, I'm going to tell you, spot lock on a river is the greatest thing in the world because the river current is going, and you just hit spot lock, and you don't have to worry about swaying left or right. It holds it pretty good. And then when I bought my new boat, my tracker, I took the spot lock off it and put it on the tracker, and took the one on the tracker, put it on the Carolina skiff, and sold it. But I do anchor fish a lot, but I have gotten to a new thing that I'm doing that I'm really liking it. I mean, I just started it, but it's what I call a reverse dragging, where I turn the boat up the river against the current and turn my trolling motor on fast enough to let my boat go down the river at about 0.5, and I drop down my baits and they drag like that. And I've actually had some really good luck lately doing that. And so I call it a reverse drag because you're actually going backwards from what you normally would do. It's a little fun to watch the front of the boat because you got to look up there and make sure how you're turning the trolling motor, because it's backwards from whenever you're dragging. When you're going forward, you're actually going backwards down the river. But it's a cool way to do it, and I've just started doing it, and I really like it.
Are you having to use lighter weights when you do that?
I use what I do is I get the Santee drifter anchors, and I've got the 4 ounce and it's a cord, and I've got to get some. I'm going to get some 6 ounce from Jimmy also, but it's according to how much current they're running in the river. Just to be honest with you, if they're running a lot of current, and I'm having to, like, I may have my boat, my trolling motor on 3 push, trying to go back like it's going up the river, but the river's still pushing me down, so. If they're running a lot of currents, it'll wash my baits further down. So I have to put on more bait or more weight, actually, Brandon, because I want them dragging. And I don't use a coin sink or anything because they're so easy hung up. So I use the Santee drifters to where they'll still go over stuff. And it seems like they'll get over stuff a little better because the water has everything, pointing downriver, so it'll slide over a lot. It seems like it to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I use the drift sinkers like that, and it works really well.
So your rigs are actually washing downriver about the same speed as your boat.
Yes, sir. Yep.
That's a
And
pretty
what
neat
I'll do is I'll
technique
get
there.
them set up, and I
You
don't
have
I leave
to,
them down low enough where they're dragging, and so I'll start out in a deeper place. So if it comes up, if the river bottoms, if I get in shallower water, they're still dragging. They may drag behind the boat a little bit, but they're still dragging on the bottom like that. That makes sense. It's I call it a reverse drag.
Well, for me, it makes perfect sense because that's exactly what we do when we're back bottom bouncing.
That's
Right.
exactly
We're
what I was
holding
going to
on
ask
to
you
the
about.
rod and lifting it up and letting the current take the back. It's the same principle, except we're holding on to the rod.
I'm just too lazy to bob them.
Hey, whatever works for you. But I promise you one thing: if you're ever holding on to one and it hits that thing and tries to take it out of your hand, you'll be holding on to one all the time because it's very addictive. Because they're trying to take that rod away from you, and you're telling them no, you can't have it. It's basically what about. Hey, I want to. While I see it in here, Sam Martin's in here, and Amy Payne's joined us. Welcome, Amy.
I see a Sharon Chavez, fishing chick.
Yep.
The takedowns are so much better like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Those are active fish. They're trying to eat.
Yeah.
And whatever they grab, they have every intention of getting it in them.
Right. They're not just nibbling it. Like
that's right. It's not,
they take
not
it and
right.
they take it hard. And it's just, it's addictive. I mean, it's like, holy smokes. I told Woody, like I say, Woody and Russ are my two guys that fish with me all the time. You see on most of the videos. I said, we're going to learn this a little more. I said, you go fishing, you want to catch fish, but you want to make a video also. So, but I'm just like, you know what? We're going to learn this. We may take half the day and catch some fish for a video, and then the rest of the day we're going to drift until we learn how to do this really good, because it's so addictive, and those takedowns are like nothing. Like I say, they're attacking it. They're not just grabbing it. When they get, usually when you get hit drifting, you're going to catch it.
Oh yeah.
Darrell, I said something to Lyle for a long time, that there's something in the wind. There's something somewhere. Somebody's going to come up with something that's going to change the way we fish for catfish.
That's right.
And you're adding a new technique. I've never heard of nobody doing it that way. Except bumping, holding it in their hands. But you got your rod stationary. That's a whole new, brand new technique that I've heard about, and it's coming. I'm telling you guys, it's coming. Somebody's going to come up with something. They're going to say, ding, ding, ding. Why didn't I think of that?
Darrell's catching too many fish for somebody not to catch on to that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I kept thinking about it, and see, I asked a lot of questions. I'll just be honest with you. I probably bugged some people to death. Joe with Chat Cats, he's a really good friend of mine. I learned so much from him.
Oh, he's a great guy.
And I used to, Jimmy Smith, I wanted to learn how to drift fish, because I go up on a lake sometimes when the water is bad and all. And I'd ask him about it, and I'd ask him all kind of questions. And I just kept thinking, there's got a way to do it on the river. It's got to be. And about a month ago, Russ and Woody was in the boat, and I said, look, and actually it was the same day that I videoed the chicken video. Actually, guys, believe it or not, we did 3 videos that day. We did the chicken video, and we got started real early, and then we went and we anchored fish. We caught about 5 fish, anchored fish, and I said, look, that's enough to make a video. Let's go. I want to try something new I've never done before. And they're like, well, I said, I want to do a reverse drift. I said, I've been thinking about it. I said, I really believe it'll work. They're like, okay, well, let's try it. First fish we caught was 43 pounds. It was Russ's PB. I mean, it just slammed it. And the video come out the other day. Like I said, I just started 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's working. And man, I was like, this is great, And I told Jimmy about it, and I said, Jimmy, I said, I've learned to do this way. I said, I'm going to start doing it. I said, I need to get I'm going to get some of your sinkers from you, because I think they'll work better than the ones I got, because the ones I got were stiff, and the ones he uses are limber. And I was like, they'll roll over the stuff in the river good. So I got them, and he's like, hey, and he asked me to be on his pro staff too. I'm like, he goes, you're doing good. And I was like, well, I appreciate it, but I'll take your sinkers where you put me on the pro staff or not, because I know they're going to work in this river thing. So I've had a lot of stuff going on this year, but Yeah, guys, try it. Just let those things drag down on the bottom, and it's like nothing you've ever done. It's really cool. Now you'll get hung sometimes, but you're going to get hung when you're doing a regular drifting up on the lake also,
That's
because
it.
you've got to go through structure. If
If
you're
you're
not
not
fishing
getting
structure,
hung
you're not
up
going to
once
catch
in a
anything.
while, you ain't where the fish want to be.
You got that right.
Luther Harlow says, and welcome to the chat, I do the same thing when conditions allow. I call it drift bumping. Got to use a legacy mode on the power drive if you have a Minn Kota. That makes sense to me. Jay Fox Hunter, welcome.
Now, what is that
I
legacy mode?
I don't know what that is.
I don't even.
It kind of keeps up with, just cuts a little bit off of the, it depends on how you got it set. But the idea behind it, in my understanding, is it'll cut your drift and let you go backwards and just operate it, but you still have to steer.
Yeah,
Right.
I just slowly turn I just start like at 2 or 3 and slowly turn it up and down till I get to that drift of about a half mile an hour. And also what I do is I use a Carolina Carolina rig where I use a float, a 2.5 to 3 inch float, with a circle hook, 8/0 circle hook. And I just let that float up. That keeps me off the bottom. I feel like that gets me, keeps me from getting hung so much. And plus it keeps it up. I usually do about 2 foot, just to be honest with you, with this backwards drifting. Gets it up above everything. And then the sinker, like I say, I like that Santee rig that Jimmy puts out, just because it sort of snakes over stuff instead of so stiff where it seems like those others were getting hung a little bit more. So
Here's Carolina Catfish says legacy mode is awesome, and Luther explained it differently than I did and better probably. He said it's a heading mode, but there's 2 modes. Legacy mode keeps you in a straight line wherever you set it. To head to, it'll keep you in a straight line as you go backwards. And the other is the regular mode, it tries to follow a straight path.
Okay.
So,
I might try that, but the only thing is I move in the river because of the like I'll be following a ledge or something.
That's right.
I may have to go in and out, so I'm not sure how good that would work. But
the terrain that I have has
I'll try it.
What do they call that where it stays on that? No, well, it's a button you hit, but there's something else. I can't think of it right now. If I think of it in a minute, I'll let you know. But anyhow, it's something where it follows the contours as you go. But it don't do it as good going backwards as it does going forward.
That's probably all over the top of my head. I just
There's my buddy Freddie. He's out in Colorado now, Lyle, looking for gold.
Oh, bless you.
He just got back from Oregon. Now he's out in Colorado. Go get it. Cool. Go get it, Freddie.
We want to welcome Twisted Fishing Outdoors. Good to have you in here tonight, Frank. Matt from One Be Outdoors. Probably said him already, but I'll get him again. Mr.
Have you got any videos out showing doing that reverse?
I have one out that I just put out that shows it. It's the one where we call it a 40, I think 42, 43 pound. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I think the name of it was reverse drifting or something, but it was out. It came out a week or 2 ago.
Okay. I'll go back and look for it because I like to watch that.
I've got so many videos out lately, I can't remember. I try to put out 2 a week. So
that's a job right there, doing 2 a week.
Working
catfishing on the Tennessee River, caught a monster.
Yeah, that's it. Reverse fishing
4 days ago.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's it.
Kimbernet wants to know what the channel is. Will you tell everybody what the name of your channel is?
It's Trophy Seekers Outdoors. I don't know if they can see it next to my name, Darrell Morris, but it's Trophy Seekers Outdoors. Like I said, I've only been putting out videos about 5 months out. The chicken one was my 40th video that I put out. Was the chicken one that I just put out.
Well, you want a good roll?
Yeah.
Well, it's an hour and 45 minutes to drive from my house to Chattanooga. I live in Georgia, and when I go up there, it costs so much to go up there. When I get there in the morning, I'm not leaving till dark or after dark. So
I can relate to that.
What part of Georgia are you from?
A little town called Jasper, Georgia. It's about 60 miles north of Atlanta.
I think I delivered some daggone machinery to that place, some printing machinery many years ago.
Yeah. Close to LJ or Canton, Georgia.
LJ, that's the little town that we delivered to. LJ.
I'm just south of LJ. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you ain't too far. You can shoot. You can jump on the highway and head down to Alabama. Jump on Wheeler and what's the other name of that? Like I just had a brain fart.
Yeah. Like I say, I've only been serious catfishing for about 8 months. I'm gonna learn the Tennessee River before I go anywhere else.
There you
go.
Green.
The Tennessee River is an awesome fishing.
Yeah, I'm just so green. Like it's just like YouTube. I'm green. I'm sure there's different etiquettes you're supposed to use in YouTube. I'm just sort of just freelancing here, trying to figure everything out because. The first time I tried to do one of these talks like this, I like to never figured out even how to come in on it, So, I'm just new at all this. I'm not real savvy when it comes to electronics.
Well, you got 40 videos already out. You got that video right there. I got a feeling is going to take you somewhere.
I think so.
You least expect it. And your channel's getting ready to boom. I really got a feeling because you're doing good. You're producing videos. If you can produce 1, 2, 3 videos a week and keep up with that, put them out at the same time where your people are looking for them, the algorithms will pick you up real quick and they'll take off with you. And next thing you know, you're going to blow past a lot of people and just enjoy it.
Oh, I am. If I make, I want to make a video. That's my thing to do. But I just enjoy going out on the river. My wife, I've been married to her 36 years. She's behind me. She's like, go have fun. And, I just love it. I mean, it's just something that really just gives me a thrill. And like I say, when I take somebody with me that's never caught anything over a 10-pound catfish and they go up there and they catch something, their eyes just glisten and they're just like, it's the greatest thing to me. I love it. I'm about to take my great nephew up there the next few days, and I can't wait. He's only like 4 years old, but he loves fishing. I mean, he loves fishing. I don't know what he's going to do if we hook into a 25-pounder. We're going to tie the rod and reel to his belt loop. We're going to tie him to the boat, I guess. But I can't wait to do that.
We want to thank the Flatty Daddies for sharing our video for tonight.
Yes.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Guys.
Yep. It'd be nice today with some white perch you could take and get him on because them white perch bite like crazy and put a sabiki rig on there where he's catching 5 and 6 at a time. That young man would go ballistic, son.
That is fun.
It is. But if you pull a catfish in the boat bigger than he is, he's really going to be ballistic.
Well, if you can catch a big catfish on one of the perch that he caught, or a skipjack or a bluegill.
Oh, yeah.
If he could catch them both, that would really be great.
Well, Woody's son is only 9 years old. We took him about, a month and a half ago or something, and caught, I think it was a 26-pounder, but I bet he reeled it in himself too. I mean, the catfish was as long as he was just about it, and he did good. He reeled it in all the way up to the boat, I try to be patient with stuff like that. I don't want to take the rod from it. I want them to, as long as they're interested in trying to bring it in, if it gets off, it's going to get off. We'll get another one or whatever, but let that child have something that he's going to remember all his life, that he caught that monster catfish, and it was, he'll remember it forever. So that's
the future of the sport. And if we teach them right, they gonna make sure that those fish are still swimming when their kids get grown.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, exactly. And we let every fish go. If
that was something else that I wanted to talk about. I noticed that in your videos. I've never heard you talk about keeping a fish, and I've never heard you saw you put one in a live well. I do that sometimes to revive them. If they're stressed out, especially if they're big, and then we release them later.
Right.
Personally, I've only kept 2 or 3 fish in the last 15 or 20 years because I don't like to clean them. But I'm going to start keeping a few. And here's the reason why I say that. The Missouri Department of Conservation has determined that there is way too many underfish, and that's under 26 inches in Lake Ozark, Truman, and all the tributaries.
Right.
They have a slot limit between 28 and 32, I believe it is. And then you're only allowed 2 overs per day in those bodies of water. But the better fish are the smaller ones anyhow.
Right.
And since they increased the limit on the smaller fish from 5 to 10, they want you to keep them because they're overpopulated in those waters on Lake Ozark and Truman. So I'm going to start keeping a few, and we're going to start eating some of them. Usually we go out fishing, and we'd stop and have fish at a restaurant on the way home. That way I didn't have to clean them, and Cindy didn't have to cook them, and nobody had to clean it up. But we both like them, and we're just going to start doing that because they want some of the fish. There's just too many of the small ones in there, and that's why we don't have any of the big ones, and we don't have the growth time that the southern places have got. So we got to eliminate some of the small fish so then ones in the slots can get to the over.
Yes. Well, see, I'm not trying to sound like a brag, but I just don't really catch that many small fish the way I fish either because, I'm fishing with a big chunk of bait when I put it out there. It's either a big bluegill or a skipjack, and you're just not going to catch nothing much under 10 pounds most of the, 99% of the time. 99% of the time, I really catch something that's 15 pounds or bigger, just to be honest with you. So I really don't catch many small ones. And like I say, I'm not trying to say, well, I just catch only big fish, but it's just because of the way I fish, It's
now, Darrell,
yes,
I just thought of something. On that video, that very first fish that you caught with the chicken head on, what would have took it over the top was the chicken eating the fish that eat the chicken. You should have dropped it right in its mouth and right.
That might have, I don't know. That might not be too good.
And our camera cut the fins off of it and then do it.
We better not try that one. Now I do if we do now that's a total different way of fishing. Also, that's what we call free lining.
Yeah, I love free lining.
Yeah, that's with no sinker or anything. We're just putting chicken on there. It's a swivel with a about a 24-inch leader with a tail hook, and it's floating down there through there. And we do catch them like that, and I just do it for fun. And sometimes guys want to come go, let's go catch it. Can we go catch some up at the dam? And we'll grab some chicken and go do that for a little bit.
Sounds like fun. Catfishing with the Crow has joined us. Philip Williams. SK's Crumpy Kitchen Adventures has now joined us. I think I said Abby a while ago. Chris Yulston. I think I'm trying to keep caught up with all the new folks that joined us. But it's always a pleasure to have SK in here with us. Dan's Creations and Adventures. I think we hit that about the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved free line for many years back when we wasn't up at channels around this area. Them big brim head, you can cast them a country mile and they just flutter around. And I don't know, to me, that's the most natural presentation you can put on them.
Oh, yeah. Like I say, there's a lot of them. Joe does it a lot. And he's caught a 50-pound blue free lining chicken on 10-pound test line. He's amazing. He's actually he's a school teacher, but he's a guide up there also. So he and I talk a lot because we're both on the river. Every week. I'm usually during the week. I take off and go up there during the week. He's on the weekend. So how'd you do this weekend, or where'd you fish? And we just we talk back and forth like that a lot. So
Frank with Twisted Fishing TV says should call it free range chicken. And that's pretty good. Welcome, Comfortable Life. We're glad to have you in chat tonight. That's a new one for me. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. Free range chicken.
Free range chicken. That's pretty cool right there.
Different things I want to put out with. I mean, I want to do a series, and it's what I'm hoping. If it takes off good, I'm going to. If it don't, I'm not going to, because it's just a lot of work. If people just want to watch me catching regular catfish, I'll do it. But if they want something that's different, that's fun, and just make you laugh, I've got my mind's crazy. I'm just gonna tell you that it beats to a different beat sometimes of other people. Just to be honest with you. And
now, Darrell, me and Lyle talked about it, and I think the YouTube is going more towards entertainment than information. Yeah. I mean, there's a place for information, but there's so much information out there already that now people are looking to be entertained. And that video right there just shows you that's good entertainment.
That's right. I have, for me to stay focused on a video, if it's teaching me something, right, I'm entertained. I'll watch that. If it's funny, I'm really entertained. Yeah. And for me to watch them, I have to be, the entertainment factor's got to be up here for me. Right. Whether it's catching fish, whether it's conversation, whether it's somebody teaching me something, or whether it's comedy. But there has to be a real pretty good bar of entertainment, or I lose focus, especially if I'm sitting over here and I'm tying jigs. Yes. My mind's on that jig, and I know when something's on this computer, because that television is usually not on. Right. If I'm listening to YouTube videos and it gets my attention to where I mess up doing a jig, or I got to stop to see what they're talking about, that means that entertainment factor is way up. And that's where I want it to be so I can watch it. You know?
Well, that's why I set out to do my videos where I don't do a lot of talking and, sit there for 10 minutes at the beginning. To me, the catfish is a star, That's right. People want to see you catch catfish. So when you go to mine, I'm not going to sit there and talk to you 15 minutes about how hard I work to do this, or I went over there and all. You want to see catfish. So if you go to my where I'm doing regular catch, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing as I'm bringing them in and reeling them in and do that way, because like I say, that catfish is a star. I'm just a guy at the end of a rod. Nobody could care less what I look like or what I sound like. And then I'm going to do these other videos for entertainment, Yeah.
I'm glad Catfish said, didn't you win a tournament one year on the Ultima?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Darrell said, Hogleg Catfish said, Darrell, didn't you win a tournament on the Ultima one year? I don't know if I'm saying that word right.
It wasn't me. I'd say I've only been in serious catfishing for about 8 months. I did win the 3+1 catfish that tournament they had about 2 months ago or something, where we did a live cast, and we started out free lining on that one, and then went to chasing bigger fish. But that's actually the only tournament I've ever been in. I'm going to do the Iron Cat big fish for Kevin, but that's the only one I've ever been in. So unless it was another lifetime, I might have.
We want to welcome Fishing with Robbie into the chat tonight, my little buddy. Glad to have you in here, sir. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, messaged him last night. He messaged me wanting to reaffirm how to use them floats before he went out there fishing this morning. I hope you're done good, Robbie. Another young man coming into the sport, Darrell. I'm looking forward to seeing people like him get up there in the sport. That young man, he's a little bitty rascal, but he can throw a bait caster like it ain't nobody's business, boy.
Oh man.
Well, it makes me look bad because I guarantee you I can bird's nest one better than anybody in the world. I was like, I call mine carpet bombing. My first two, when I'm sitting still, I'll throw 2 short and then I'll throw 2 medium, and then I try to see how far I can throw the next 2 on the outside. I can put a bird's nest in there. It's like they could be a dang eagle put a nest in that thing or something. It's so good.
Are you throwing mono or braid?
I throw mono. I'm a mono guy. I've heard so many horror stories about the rocks in the Tennessee River cutting the braid that I just run all mono. I haven't had any problems.
Old wives' tales right there.
Now I do use that high-end vertically big game.
I just we was talking about that. Mark and I was talking about that the other day. I fish a lot of rocks, a lot of wood, and I use 832 suffix. I don't know what they coat that with, but it's the best by far. Heads and tails better than any braid I ever used. And I more abrasion resistant than any monofilament I ever used.
Yeah.
I just don't have issues with it ever.
That's good. Like I say, I use that expensive Berkeley big game stuff from Walmart, you know.
Hey, that's good stuff. I use
I
that.
don't have any problems with it.
No, it's great. Makes it's good if you're casting, very castable. It doesn't have terrible memory to it.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, it's an outstanding leader material.
That's what I use for my leaders. Now I use Andy for my main line.
Yeah, I use 40 pounds mono, and then I use 60-pound leaders. What I do, it's all Berkeley stuff. So
there you go.
There's nothing wrong with Berkeley.
So,
Another thing is, I live 35 miles from the big Bass Pro Shop in Springfield.
Oh, okay.
And every once in a while, in the outlet store next to it, they'll have the big rolls of that on sale for $2 or $3. And I'll get one of them baskets they got in there, and I'll just load one up.
Yeah.
Well, they have all kinds of line.
Right. Well, I'm about to go buy some braided, some 150-pound braided, because I'm about to really catch. I hope on the 20th of this month I'm going to catch a monster. Sure enough, I'm going fishing for alligators down on Lake Sinclair.
Yeah, I'm not going with you.
Yeah, you already told me that.
We don't have them up here.
A friend, actually, Jay, that was in there. He's got some friends that's got some tags down there, and we're going to go down there, and I'm going to take my rod and reel and put some 150 pound braid on there, and we're going to see if we can catch about a 12-foot alligator down there. So
there's some guy they're advertising using that new Hellcat rod from Big Cat Fever, and he's catching them alligators down there. And that just have to be a freaking fight. They buried their feet up in the freaking mud.
Yeah, well, I've got a video. The video coming out Thursday is of catching. It's Jay and them was down there a couple of years ago, and he had videoed all, but he didn't do any editing, and he sent me all the videos. So I've put it together, and so this Thursday I'm coming out with one that's where they catch an alligator with a rod and reel.
Oh, I hear you.
Hopefully you'll like that, and then we're going down the 20th, and I've got a Mad Cat's Blue Ghost rod. And we're going to see how tough that Mad Cat's rod is. So,
I don't think we shouldn't hurt the rods. I got rod that's 20 years old. I guarantee you can pull one in on.
Yeah.
But if I'm going after alligators, I want one of the big tired things that they spray anhydrous on crop fields. I want to be sitting up in there, and I got a bow sitting up for bow fishing, and I'll use that. But I don't want no weight. You can get up and
well, my tracker's a Pro V. My tracker's a Pro V 175, so it sits up out of the water about almost 2 foot. So if he jumps up in there and gets us in that,
I just don't think that's I just never been around them. I know you guys that live down there around them, they don't bother you. But I watch SK crappie fish.
Yeah.
And they swim right in his boat. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with him? Why don't he leave? But he just talks to him and goes on. I'm thinking, nope, that ain't happening.
I don't live down there, so I couldn't tell you about all that. But I plan on fishing the river, the Flint River coming there. We're going to try to see if we can catch some catfish.
Well, I wish y'all the best of luck. Boy outdoors, welcome.
So we'll
I don't want to be part of it. Ends and pines.
Hopefully, guys out in the chat, if you want to see a fishing for alligators, let us know something, and we're going to try to put a video out if everybody wants to see one.
Pretty outdoor adventure, says Darrell. Do you prefer dragging, bumping, or anchoring?
Whatever's working. I don't bump. I'll tell you why I don't bump, and I'll just be honest with you guys. I don't have a whole lot of feeling in my hands. I had cancer about 13 years ago, so I went through a lot of chemo, and the nerves in my hands and feet. I don't have a lot of feeling in my hands, tips of my fingers, so I don't feel stuff real good. I guess if I got hit hard with it, but I can't feel the bottom real good when I'm bumping, so I don't do that much. So I guess I'd have to say dragging and free lining and and anchoring are my ways of doing things, because I just don't do good with trying to feel like that. Right. That's why I hate fishing for bait. I can't feel them when they hit too good.
I understand that. Steve Locke, 760. new one to our show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Well, Darrell, I'm happy for you. Sound like that you beat it 13 years ago, and
Yes,
I hope you stay that way.
Thank you. Good Lord was watching over me and let me live to live my life as normal as I can be after going through a stem cell transplant and all the chemo I went through.
Wow, yeah.
Thank you to the good Lord upstairs for sure. He watched after me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is 100% correct.
Yeah.
Darrell, thank you so much for joining us on Catfish Weekly Night. It's absolutely been a blast. You've got a great start in the catfish community, no longer than you've been doing it. I was extremely proud to watch that video today. I've been following you for some time, watching your videos. Comment on some of them I don't, because let's face it, I don't want to take away from what you're trying to do by making comments and you and I visiting back and forth, and people should be watching the show. You know what I mean? But you've been doing very well, and we're all proud to have people like you be a part of the catfish community.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate everybody out there. There's been so many people that's reached out to me and helped me. Also, 3+1, 1-ton fishing. Bobcat Outdoors, Kevin. I don't want to start naming everybody because I'll leave somebody out. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but you guys have been so good to me. It's just, I don't know. I get choked up thinking about how good people can be when you don't know anything. And, there's so much popularity that goes on out in this world, and people will just take you for who you are and take you. And I appreciate that. And I thank everybody out there that's ever watched my videos or helped me or said, try this, try that. Yeah, it's priceless to me. And thank you all, everybody.
It absolutely is. And that's what's made a lot of us get to the place where we are at in the industry. Wouldn't you agree, James?
Oh, yeah. And that's one thing, from what little bit, and I'm sorry, Darrell, that I wasn't subscribed to you earlier. I thought I was.
Okay.
But one thing that I have noticed about you, you're not fake.
No.
Yeah, I am what I am.
There you go.
If you don't like this, you just ain't gonna like me. I just gotta be me, and that's it.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
We want to tell everybody that is watching the show to switch on over when we end here in a couple of minutes to watch Catfish and Crappie's podcast. Mark has got a great guest on. Him and Abby should have a wonderful show tonight. Darrell, I want to extend an invitation to you to come back to watch and do another Catfish and Weekly show. If you can keep coming up with this content, I see a bright future for you in the YouTube industry as far as fishing. And thank you so much for being our guest tonight.
Thank you guys for asking me. Thank you. Thank you to everybody out there in the live cast.
You're very welcome. Do you have any closing stuff tonight, James?
Well, no, I just want to tell everybody, God bless you. God bless you for coming in here, watching the show, and supporting us every week. It takes a lot to put on the shows, but without y'all, we have no shows. So thank you for coming in. God bless you. God bless America.
That's right. We want to, Jay Reed, just subscribe to us. Thank you so much. I see Rebecca Mudtramp 70715 has just joined us. We're glad to have her in here. Thanks everybody for watching Catfish Weekly. It means the world to us that you guys join us on Monday nights. I mean, you could be watching baseball or Monday night football, but instead you're sitting here watching James and Lyle and Darrell tonight, and we appreciate it very much. Be sure to go to Trophy Seeker T Outdoors and check out his video list. You're going to be impressed. If you get a chance, hit that like button and subscribe to Catfish Weekly and to Darrell's channel and to Patriot James. And James will be live Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.
Yep. 7 o'clock Central Time. 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's God's time.
Yeah. I know.
We'll be on
we out here in North Carolina. We got to count our fingers how many hours we have delayed.
They're an hour behind us. What it is?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. We'll be at 8 o'clock Central Time for Panfish Nation Thursday night, right after the Chad and the bait shop. Head on over and check out Mark's show tonight. You'll be happy you did. Thanks everybody for watching.